Hello, I'm Rachel Riva, founder of lifeonhertermsmedia. Welcome to our channel. Today I'm talking about something very controversial. I did not think I would be talking about something in the news like this because really my role here is just to encourage women in business to get visible and promote their God-given genius to the world. But we got to talk about something that's in the media today, and it's about Joe Rogan and Spotify and why this story matters and why you need to take note of it. Now, firstly, this is not a political post. This is not about vaccine or to not vaccine. It's actually nothing about that. It's about understanding the media, the role of the media and how it's changing, and also the role of business owners and having a platform and why it's so important. Now, if you haven't looked up this story, if you're not aware, just very briefly, as I'm recording this video, Spotify has actually just made a huge announcement to counter this story. But just briefly, in a nutshell, Joe Rogan is a very popular podcaster. He has content exclusively on Spotify, and he has a show. He talks a lot about conspiracy theories, politics, aliens, I believe. I don't listen that much to it, but it's a very popular show. I believe one of the most popular on Spotify, if not the most downloaded. So Joe Rogan is someone who is very controversial. He has a lot of opinions on COVID and has made those opinions very known. He talks a lot about, his beliefs. He brings medical people on to kind of share and validate the opinions that he has. But I'm not here to talk about the vaccine. What I'm here to talk about is why there's such an outcry and what has been done about it. A musician by the name of Neil Young, some of you Rockies might know who that is. He came out and basically said, I cannot stand sharing the same platform as this person. He is spreading misinformation about COVID-19, and Spotify, you have to choose between me or him. Well, they said, Neil Young, okay, if you want to go, you go. We're sorry that you're leaving. And he was quickly followed by Joni Mitchell, I believe Brene Brown, and a few others as well. Now, this has all happened in a space of within a week. And what is so fascinating and why you need to listen to this, why you need to be aware of this, is not whether or not you're on the fence of Spotify or Joe Rogan or anybody else. This really isn't about the issue of COVID-19 and what people are saying or not saying about it. Because if you just do a quick Google, you will be able to see both sides of the story and people on both sides of to vax or not to vax. That's not what this is about. This is about the power of the media and how it's changing and how the content is becoming everything. So if you own a platform that has content that people are listening to, you own the power. And this is what I just want to encourage you to keep building your platform. And I'm going to give you a few reasons here. And also why this story matters. Aside from it's really just showing how powerful this platform of Spotify is, one that we downloaded thinking we could just listen to some free music. Well, if you have a podcast that people are interested in listening to, you're wielding a lot of power there. And if you choose to withdraw that, they've lost, I believe it was $2 billion in the last week because of, off the back of this. And since then, Spotify has introduced some new strict policies about if you're talking about COVID-19, they'll probably have some content warnings. They'll probably be pointing to some sources, as they should, because if they are in the media business and if they are sharing anything about media, medical or science community, they should have some kind of, journalistic integrity and just some kind of warnings for people. So they are doing that, which is good. It's long overdue. But here's what I want you to know about the story. Number one, content is the new currency where statements are being made. And what that means is you don't even need to make a political statement anymore. You can just withdraw your content. If you're someone who has a strong platform, if you've got a platform that people listen to, they engage with you removing your content from that platform is a powerful statement itself. It's amazing. It used to be Fox News, make a statement, send out a press release with a statement. Gone are those days. All you have to do is make a move with your content. And that is powerful. And to me, that really just points to the power of the platform, the power of what platform that you decide to be established on or be visible on, but also you can create your own platform and people are watching what you do with that. So it doesn't matter where you're starting or how small your number is, but if you continue to invest in that, I want you to know content is a really powerful thing and not to neglect it, because look at what is happening. Literally, look at what's happening. One person's decision about their content has led to a huge change in a policy of this platform. And that is a powerful thing. Number two, your voice does matter. It was, I think, the French philosopher Voltaire who said, I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. And whether that's about freedom of speech or just not agreeing with anyone, but it just means your voice really does matter. And I do believe that we're not always going to agree on everything. And I believe that there should be platforms for whatever it is you want to listen to. And we shouldn't just be listening to the same opinions again and again. And Obviously, you need to have that balance with having, content warnings and the right places to go and seek the right information on things. But I also believe, even though I don't agree with a lot of what Joe Rogan says, that he should be allowed to have a voice. Everyone deserves to have a voice, even the people I really don't agree with. So, I just want to say your voice does matter. And it doesn't matter if you're only speaking to 5 people to start with, if you're speaking to 5,000 or 5 million. It is important that your voice is heard. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever it is that you know about, your perspective is really important. Number 3, money talks, and media makes you money. It really does. Spotify has responded because they've lost money, and Neil Young knew he would lose them money by making this very clear statement and withdrawing his content, which was making them money. When you are in a position to where your content is making money, that is a powerful place to be in. So do not underestimate the power of the media, the power of your media. Even if you think, I don't have any, what are you talking about? I'm not on a media platform. You can get on one. You could get on Spotify if you choose to. There's plenty of other platforms you could do as well. I'm on YouTube right now. You could get on YouTube. So do not underestimate the importance of using the media of every platform that's there, because when you build something that's powerful, when you build something people are interested in, you are starting to hold the power cards. Everything's changing in a really interesting way, and I love seeing how media is changing and the power of the media is changing, because it's really going back to the people, and it's a really interesting time to be around, but an amazing time to be in business, because you have so many platforms you can get visible on and share your perspective on. Number 4, your platform has a purpose. It's time to amplify your perspective. Like anything that you talk about, any platform you decide to be on, you're amplifying your perspective, a truth that's out there, a voice that hasn't been heard before. I usually just talk about Christian women in business and how to build your business, but I need you to understand the context of everything that's going on here. And I try and look really hard at when a story comes out and there's all these opinions, people just straight away go, that's horrible, because they read a headline. And I really try and look at all sides before I come to a conclusion. That can be really hard, because whatever it is you Google and I Google, we come up with completely different responses depending on what I've searched before. So Google itself and Facebook is actually amplifying my opinion to me, which says to me it is so important to amplify your business by sharing an opinion, a perspective on media platforms. We need to hear more from people and what they have to say. We shouldn't be hearing from the same people all the time. So your platform has a purpose. So build it, commit to it, show up, and start expressing what your perspective is, what your business stands for, what your mission statement is, what makes you angry, what you think needs to be changed in the world. Now is the time to start building that platform. God wants his women to be the ones leading the platform, who can lead the change when there's a policy that needs to be addressed. Okay, whether or not you agree with that policy, I do. I think if you're publishing content, you need to be responsible for certain things to draw a line to, but you need to have, certain, you need to advise people of the content that they're consuming and what the purpose is, and point people in the right direction. But the person who holds all the power gets to affect the policy. Do you see how important that is? It's huge. It's everything. It is everything. And it's no longer just a journalist who has that anymore. You don't just have to get in with the right journalist. You get to make that decision yourself once you have a platform that people are listening to. It is everything. Number 5, one person's decision about their content has made a huge change in policy. It's changed the way an entire media company operates. One person. And obviously when one person has the courage to stand up, other people do as well. Now, again, going back to, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on here. I just want you to understand the context of the media and how things are changing. I want you to understand the opportunity that you have as a business owner, someone with a mission to share, with a message to share, how important it is for you to get out there in the world right now. Because I'm telling you, the person who has not just the content but the platform, they have the power. And I really believe that God is calling his women to be visible in a new way. He wants you to affect policy. He wants you in that room. He wants you seated at that table. And the way we do that is by getting visible. So I just want to encourage you today to get visible, and also encourage you, share, look up the story, make up your own opinions. I'm not going to get into debates about who's right or who's wrong. I just want you to understand the context of what's happening and seek out the truth yourself. It's always somewhere in between, it seems. things. But the point is, I just want you to really encourage you that the media is really powerful, obviously, and you get to literally control the narrative of your business today. And the more visible you get, the more opportunities there are to affect policy in a good way, to change the world in a good way, to get good information out there, to get, to encourage people and share the message that God gave you to share. If you like more content like this, please subscribe to our channel and comment below. I'm sure you have some thoughts. I would love to hear them. And it's okay if we disagree. I am open to disagreeing, but obviously always in a kind and gracious way. All right, sending you much love. Bye.